Good afternoon. Welcome to the Finance Committee meeting today, May 25th, 2021. We'll get started. First of all, is there any additions or subtractions to the agenda?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I have an addition. Consider adding 23.1 to the agenda. It's consider recommending Board of Commissioners approve to award the contract to Littlefield Construction for the base bid amount of $5,373,520 with $2,332,660 to be provided by SPLOST 2016 project line 1,045,600 from SPLOST 2016 major roads and $1,995,260 to be provided by SPLOST 2016 excess funds.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, raise your hand. All right, we're adding item 23.1 to the agenda. The vote was 3-0. Need to consider approving the finance meeting minutes from April 27th, 2021.
Okay. Motion to approve the April 27th, 2021 Finance Committee minutes.
Second.
Second, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Minutes are approved, 3-0. Item number 3, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the lease with GP Mall LLC for office space in the Glynn County Mall to use as public satellite office, pending approval by the county attorney with funding provided by the police department operating budget. Chief Evans.
Good afternoon, Commissioners and Board. In regards to the contract with the mall, I would ask to defer that. There's some new developments that came about to where we may not be needing that space at all.
All right. Sounds good. Can I get a motion to defer?
Make a motion to defer the lease with GP Mall LLC for office space in the Glen Place Mall for use as a police satellite office pending approval by the county attorney with funding be provided by the police department operating budget.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 3 is deferred. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 4, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept donation from Canopy Asset Management LLC, the Condo Hut LLC, Parker's Village, Island E Ventures LLC, Pet Exchange Inc., Pat Hodnick Cooper, Monkey Wrench Bicycle Services Inc., St. Simon's Bait and Tackle, Aviation Sales and Maintenance Inc., DBA Standby Aviation, Turner Associates Insurance, RPM Associates Inc., Southern Ballistic Research, Sea Palms Coastal Realty, and increase the FY21 Fire Fund revenue and expenditure budget by $2,345. I have a representative from the the fire department.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Those smoke alarms are to be integrated into our Guardian Angel program, and each one of those alarms will be placed into someone's home. A needy family will receive each and every one of those, and those names that you mentioned, they generously donated the funds to purchase those for us.
Okay.
And we'll send firefighters, fire trucks out, and we will place those in people's homes.
All right. Any questions, comments? All right. Do I have a motion?
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept donations from Canopy Asset Management LLC, the Condo Hut LLC, Parker's Village, Island E Ventures LLC, Pet Exchange Incorporated, Pat Hodnick Cooper, Monkey Wrench Bicycle Services, St. Simon's Bait and Tackle, Aviation Sales and Maintenance Incorporated, DBA Standby Aviation, Research, Turner and Associates Insurance, RPM Associates, Southern Ballistic Research, LLC, and Palms Coastal Realty, and increase the FY21 fire revenue and expenditures budget by $2,345.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, a motion, a second, any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item number 4 passes 3-0. Item number 5, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept a grant from the Department of Public Health Office of EMS and increase the FY21 EMS revenue and expenditures budget by $7,880. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. These monies are actually reimbursable monies. The county, the state gives us $788 per the AEDs that we have per vehicle, and each one of those times 10 come out to $7,880, and that money is just reimbursable to go back into the budget that the county has already spent.
All right, Commissioners, any questions? Do I have a motion?
Move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the grant from the Department of Public Health Office for EMS and increase the FY21 EMS revenue expenditures budget by $7,880.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion 5 passes 3-0. Number 6, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept a donation from Woodmen of the World, Lodge 320, and increase the FY21 Fire Fund revenue and expenditures budget by $500. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And the $500 will go towards hand tools. These are hooks that are used to pull down ceiling tiles or whatever, we may run into to help look for maybe hot spots or whatever, just to purchase a few hand tools.
All right, any questions or discussion? Do I have a motion?
Move to recommend to the Board of Commissioners accept the donation from Woodmen of the World, Lodge 320, and increase the FY21 Fire Fund revenue and expenditures budget by $500.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item number 6 passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Item 7, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve a 1-year contract between JPSCD and the CCGA that GB 911 provide dispatch services to the CCGA Police Department. Ms. Richardson.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I'm Carrie Richardson, the director for the 911 Center, and this is just the 3rd year that they're wanting to enter a contract for dispatch services with us. And they have to do it on a yearly basis due to some clause with the state that they can't do it a continuing contract.
Make sure that the public understands the different,
In other words, your department.
the CCG is Coastal College of Georgia?
Yes, Coastal
Correct.
College of Georgia Police Department, sorry.
Okay. Any questions, commissioners, comments? Do I have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve a 1-year contract between the JPSCD and the CCGA that GB 911 provide dispatch services to the CCGA Police Department.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item number 7 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 8, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners declare the unusable items listed on the attached page as surplus and approve disposing of these items in the best interest of the county. Ms. Dunnigan? Oh,
Sir, this is a list of excess equipment or surplus equipment we have at Public Works that we're ready to get rid of.
all right. Any comments or questions, commissioners?
I think we got a tour of those early on.
All right, do I have a motion?
Second.
No, I said, do I have a motion?
Hang on, Jeff, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
I recommend the Board of Commissioners declare the unusable items listed on the attached page as surplus and approve disposing of these items in the best interest of the county.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Thank you.
Number 8 passes 3-0. Number 9, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize payment of the excess tax proceeds from the tax sale of parcel number 02-02547 in the amount of $5,892.02 to the Ligon Firm, P.C. on behalf of Wanda G. Hall Allen. Mr. County Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an excess proceeds request. It meets all requirements for the request. An overage is when property goes to tax sale and when it's sold and there's more money than is required to pay off the taxes. And the owner of the property can request that overage, and it goes to the owner. In this case, they've made that request. Again, it meets the requirements, and we do recommend approval.
All right, any comments or questions, Commissioners? Do I have a motion?
Issue payment in the amount of $5,892.02 to the Ligon Firm, P.C. on behalf of Wanda G. Hall Allen.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 9 passes 3-0. Item 10, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve Glynn County Recreation and Parks Department additional child discount policy and procedures for designated youth athletic program as proposed, with implementation to begin during 2021 Fall Youth Athletics registration. Ms. Gerganis.
Okay, good afternoon. Lisa Gerganis, Recreation and Parks Director. Back in 2020, the Glynn County Recreation and Parks Department worked with members of the Revenue Study Committee to look at ways to, go to their mission of looking at fees, evaluating our services, our programs, and ways that we could get more kids in our programs as part of benefits to our community. One of the recommendations that came forward from the Revenue Study Committee was to decrease costs where we could increase participation and therefore ultimately hopefully increase revenue and get more kids in our program. So one of the things that came out of that was the recommendation to adopt an additional child discount policy. So staff worked on this last year, and we put together a policy and a program that should be attached in your agenda report, where families that would register multiple children in the same sports season, say for example football, soccer, cheerleading is coming up this fall, they would the first child would pay the full price, and then the second, third, fourth, if they had that many, would pay a fee of 10% off the cost of what it would be for their program. There would be some programs that would be excluded, mainly the programs that we already charge only $20 for those programs, because that $20 is kind of covering the costs as it is. So these are the programs that would be flag football, tackle football, basketball for ages like 7 and up, and things like that, some of the baseball programs. So the goal would be to help families that maybe have multiple kids be able to register that second or third or fourth child into our program. There would be potentially a minimal loss of revenue, but the idea is that this child that maybe is getting a 10% discount might not be able to play were it not for that discount. So our staff worked on some eligibility guidelines and criteria and came up with a process and procedures for families to do this. And my understanding is that since it is a fee reduction, it doesn't need a public hearing to go through, so it would just need the consideration of the board. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about the program and the policy.
Any comments or questions, Commissioners? We have a motion.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve Glynn County Recreation and Parks Department's additional child discount policy and procedures for designated youth athletic programs as proposed, with implementation to begin during 2021 Fall Youth Athletics registration.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 10 passes 3-0. Item 11,
Thank you.
consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve or deny a fee waiver for the Live Oaks Garden Club for use of Gascoigne Bluff Park on Friday, December 3rd, 2021 for the purpose of their annual fundraising event. Ms. Gerganis.
Okay, thank you. The Live Oaks Garden Club President Sidney Poole sent a letter to Ms. Downs as the county manager requesting consideration of a fee waiver for use of Gascoigne Park on a Friday in December. December 3rd is the date they've selected as the location for their annual poinsettia sale. They will my understanding is they'll be selling poinsettias during the previous month, and then this would be the location where people could come to pick them up at the pavilion there at Gascoigne Bluff. The Live Oak Garden Club, I think many of y'all know some of the folks with that. They do a variety of beautification projects on the island and on the mainland, and they're just asking for your consideration to waive their fees. So we're just bringing their request forward.
Commissioners, any comments or questions? Do I have a motion?
I do have a question. Have we waived it in the past?
This would be their first time using this location. They have, historically, I think they've been at one of the churches on the island, but the place that they've been does not have a covered area, and so they're a little concerned about what if the weather's bad? They don't want the poinsettias to be damaged, so they were looking at an alternative location this year.
Thank you. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve a fee waiver for Live Oaks Garden Club for use of Gascoigne Bluff Park on Friday, December 3rd, 2021 for the purpose of their annual fundraising event.
Have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item number 11 passes 3-0. Item number 12.
Commissioners, this is just the regular donations that we receive from animal control, and it's just receiving those donations, adding them into our budget, and they'll be used for animal supplies.
All right, item 12, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept cash donations made to animal control and increase the FY21 animal control revenue and expenditures budget by $1,624. I assume there's no questions. Do we have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the cash donations made to animal control and increase the FY21 animal control revenue and expenditures budget by $1,624.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 12 passes 3-0. Item 13, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to amend FY19/20 budget. Ms. Munson.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is the final budget amendment for the fiscal year 20. It's delayed due to the delay in our audit, but these are the cleanups of the last few outstanding items. The vast majority of the items on this list have already been approved by the Commission through individual items that are brought forward for budget amendment. And then the only other thing on this list that was not previously approved was redistribution of some costs used for salary COLAs that were done during the year. We typically put that all in one line item budget, and then we move it as we know where it's going to go. So that's the only thing in there with any significance that hasn't already been approved by you all.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
What did I say?
All right, do I have a motion?
Move to recommend that the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to amend the FY19-20 budget.
All right,
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 13 passes 3-0. Item 14, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to amend FY2021 budget. Ms. Munson.
This is the same thing, but this is through the third quarter for the current fiscal year 2021. So this is our third one for this year, and then we'll have another one after our audit is over at the end of the year. And again, most of the items on this list with any significance have already been approved at BOC meetings.
All right. Any comments or questions, Commissioners?
No, sir.
All right, Madam, in a motion?
Move to recommend that the Board of Commissioners adopt the resolution to amend the FY2021 budget.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 14 passes 3-0. Item 15, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize budget amendments to the attached list of projects to reduce the project budget to the completed project's total. Designate $489,125 as excess SPLOST 2016 funds available for other ongoing SPLOST 2016 projects, and approve a transfer of $274,194 in excess funds back to the Capital Projects Fund. Ms. Munson.
So every time we have a SPLOST project that comes before you, we would get an approved budget. And if we finish those projects under the approved budget, we have excess funds for those projects. And we need approval to move those back into an undesignated bucket so they can be used on future projects. So of these totals, $274,194 is our funds that were moved from the capital projects fund to increase a budget for a SPLOST project, and that was additional funds that were not used out of that movement of money. So we're asking to move that portion back to capital projects for future capital projects, and then the $489,125 would go into the undesignated bucket for the SPLOST 2016 projects.
Any questions or comments, commissioners? Do I have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize budget amendments to the attached list of projects to reduce the project budget to the completed project totals, designate $489,125 as excess SPLOST 2016 funds available to go for ongoing SPLOST 2016 projects, and approve the transfer of $274,194 in excess funds back to the capital projects fund.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 3-0. Item 15 passes 3-0. Item 16, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize the write-off of uncollectible receivables in the revolving loan fund from Strong Roots Provisions LLC in the amount of $68,996.82, and increase the FY21 revenue and expense budgets by $68,996.82 each.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. In 1988, the county received a grant from the state of Georgia, the Department of Community Affairs, to lend out loans to small businesses that qualify for certain projects. And so this is what we call our revolving loan fund, and that money went in there, and we have used the initial principal grant plus the interest that we've earned over the last many years to issue those loans. We do that in conjunction with the EDA. They partner with us, they find the businesses, and we handle the financial piece of it. And the attorneys work with the EDA's attorneys to get all the paperwork in order for those loans. So this particular loan, we lent to Strong Roots, which I pulled them up on the Secretary of State's website earlier this week, and they are, their certificate is expired. They're no longer in business. And we have not collected on this loan for well over a year and a half. Let's see. It's been quite a while, and we've made several attempts to collect that, both through our attorney's office as well as the EDA's attorney's office. We did go to court, and we received a default judgment for payment of that. However, since the business is out of business, it's unlikely that we'll be able to collect that. So we need to take these receivables off of our books. But I do want to clarify that this money is a portion of that original DCA grant. This is not Glynn County operating funds or taxpayer collected funds that we are writing off. This is that original grant. So what will ultimately happen is we'll have less money to lend out in the future because it will come out of those grant funds, and the DCA understands that they would take a loss on that.
Any comments or questions?
And for the public's knowledge, we talked about this. The loan was made, and they didn't, I guess they got UCC filings, but it turns out that person didn't own the equipment, so they've adjusted that so that won't happen again in the future. The sad part of this is $68,000 can't be used for anything else.
Correct.
But you are right, the corporation's dead.
And definitely no capital assets.
No.
All right, do I have any further questions? Do I have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners authorize a write-off of uncollectible receivables in the revolving loan fund from Strong Roots Provision LLC in the amount of $68,996.82, and if increase the FY21 revenue and expense budgets by $68,996.82 each.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I do have a question. What year was that loan made originally?
It was probably 2 years ago. Let me see if I put that in. I may not have put it in the notes, but I can get that for you.
2019, okay.
2019.
All right, I have
2019.
a motion and a second. No further discussion. All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 16 passes 3-0. Item 17, thank you, Ms. Munson. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 Adult Felony Drug Court Grant through the Georgia Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $504,022, which includes $453,620 from the grantor agency and a local match of $50,402. Ms. Harden.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. So what's before you today is a grant that we go after every year, and we've been very fortunate. It's a recurrent grant, but nonetheless, we still have to apply for it. It helps to support drug court activities, primarily their counseling, drug testing supplies, contractual services, and there is a local match. It's a 10% local match, so what you see is in state funding, the county will receive $453,620, and then the local match is at $50,402. The local match has already been included in your FY22 budget, so I don't foresee any issues with moving forward with the grant.
All right. Commissioners, any comments or questions? All right, do I have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the FY22 Adult Felony Drug Court Grant through the Georgia Criminal Justice Coordinating Council in the amount of $504,022, which includes $453,620 from the grantor agency and a local match of $50,402.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, gladly.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 17 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Item 18, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners exercise the fourth option year 2021 for the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, Phase 2 permit with funding available in the approved 2020-2021 budget for the Community Development Engineering Division. Mr. Andrews.
Commissioners, Paul Andrews, County Engineer. This is an item before you is request to enter into the next option year for our consultants who work with us to keep us in compliance with our NPDES permitting.
All right. Commissioners, any comments or questions?
Just for public information, what's the consequence if we lost that permit?
If we come out of compliance with the permit, that permit enables us to discharge stormwater. So we have to, we'll be coming into compliance through the state, either through fines or subsequent actions that they might take to make sure that our stormwater isn't a pollutant.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have a motion or comments?
Authorize the fourth year option, year 2021 of the county's contract with Goodwin, Mills, and Cowwood to continue to provide professional service for the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System Phase 2 permit in the amount of $46,797.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 13 passes 3-0.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes, sir.
19, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners, A, accept supplementary agreement for transportation enhancement activities between the Department of Transportation, State of Georgia, and Glynn County for the Glencoe Trail Project, FKA Harry Driggers Trail Phase 2, TE Project 009062 and 0010588, B, rescind the board's action on March 23rd regarding this project. C, allocate remaining SPLOST 2016 Harry Driggers Trail North funds in the amount of $142,980 to the south portion of the project and authorize $66,734 in excess SPLOST 2016 funds be designated to the south portion of the project. And D, award a contract for construction of the south section of Harry Driggers Trail project to Swindle Construction in the amount of $1,573,714. Mr. Andrews, are you tackling all four of these
I am.
points under 19?
I am, and I've put together a short presentation, if this being fairly complicated, if y'all prefer. Overview, this is the magenta on the right is what we're calling the north section of the Harry Driggers Trail project. On the south, the blue section is the south section. The north section is awarded for construction and should be getting underway shortly. The south section is the part that we're dealing with under this item. It is partially funded with Georgia DOT T grants, that's Transportation Enhancement grants through their program. And the original part of it was to connect the end of Harry Driggers Trail to the trail that we just installed on Gateway Center. Given that the intersection there at Glencoe Parkway and Canal Road is under design, we drew the project back to it now ends at the north entrance to Notting Hill. We'll pick up and make that connection with the roundabout project. But those are the two sections of Harry Driggers Trails that we've been working on. Yeah, on the next slide. This is the southern section in detail. It's the two projects. The the PI nomenclature is the Georgia DOT TE program numbers. That's referenced in the agreements. That is item number 1, the supplemental agreements. We currently have agreements for each one of those projects. What this item does is request that we have a supplement to those agreements for the additional funds that Georgia DOT is making available for this project. And currently, when we bid out the construction for the southern part of this project, they came in well over bid. We put an item in the last month. We brought an item to the board to reject the bids and rescope the project and put it back out to bid, which staff was working on with our consultants. Georgia DOT made us an offer, and they have funds in this TE program available that they are willing to add additional funds to this project to help keep it moving. And so that's the supplemental agreements that they prepared and forwarded to us for execution. That would take an additional $400,000 for this project, and that's in the current design for the project. The project that was bid out includes extension of a existing culvert out there, a large diameter pipe underneath Glencoe Parkway. We were extending it out, get that road section ready for 4-laning when that project comes forward. By taking these actions, we can continue to keep that in the project and have that section of the road ready to go when 4-laning comes along. Moving forward, if we accept the additional money from GDOT, asking y'all to consolidate some SPLOST 2016 funds. That would be the funds that were not needed or were not used on the north end of the project area, or Harry Driggers Trail project north. Direct those to the project south, and direct additional funds out of the SPLOST 2016 excess funds to make up the difference and award the contract as bid. On your motions, the rescinding the board's action in March the board took action to reject the bids and rebid it, and we're just going to go ahead and say we're going to accept the bids. So rescind that action the board already took.
Mr. County Attorney, is that all? Okay. Okay. Any questions or comments, commissioners? All right, do I have a motion?
And if you, it's up on the screen if that's easier for you.
No, I got it right.
Okay.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners accept the supplemental agreement for transportation enhancement activities between the Department of Transportation, State of Georgia, and Glynn County for the Glynn Trail Project, FKA Harry Driggers Trail Phase 2, TE Project 0009062 and 0010588. Rescind the board's action on March 23rd regarding this project. Allocate remaining SPLOST 2016 Harry Driggers Trail North funds in the amount of $142,980 to the south portion of the project and authorize $66,734 in excess SPLOST 2016 funds to be designated to the south portion of the project and award the contract for construction of the south section of Harry Driggers Trail project to Swindell Construction in the amount of $1,573,714. What is a mouthful?
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right,
Thank you, Mr.
any further discussion?
No, I'm beat.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 19 passes 3-0. Item 20, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize funds in the amount of $17,800 to the Advanced Environmental Management, Inc. for a third-year option for landfill monitoring services with funding provided by the Solid Waste Fund. Mr. Andrews.
Commissioners, this item is a request to execute our third-year option with our landfill consultants for their continued work to inspect, monitor, and report on the condition of our Kate Road landfill.
And this is something that's required, is that correct?
Yes, sir. It's required under our landfill closure permit that we have through the state.
Okay. Any other questions, commissioners, comments? All right.
Is that done for the state or federal?
We report to the state. I believe they report up to the federal if on a broader scope. But
So is that measuring gas and stuff that come off of it?
they measure both gas coming out and any contaminations in the water itself. So we've got wells around there they sample.
I'm ready.
All right, any motion?
I move to recommend that the Glynn County Board of Commissioners authorize the funds in the amount of $17,800 to Advanced Environmental Management Incorporated for the third-year option for landfill monitoring services with funding provided by the Solid Waste Fund.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion, item 20 passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Item 21, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners reject the bid for Swindell Construction Company of Glenville, Georgia for the construction of the East Beach Roundabout Planter, associated curb island, and additional traffic signage for truck reroute requirements. Mr. Alston.
Yes, sir. This is a Commissioner 2 request, alternate 2. Reject the bid and change scope.
All right, any comments or questions, commissioners?
Well, of course, a few. How did this come back at that price today? I went to several local contractors before I brought this idea forward, and their pricing consistently was between $10,000 and $15,000. How did we wind up at $78,000?
He told, well, they just gave me a lump sum bid. I got one bid, got nobody for the pre-bid. So no contractors, this is the only contractor that bidded on the item. When we asked him about the additional, how much it cost, he said the planter was about $25K. Sagos were 10, and the maintenance for a year was the rest.
All right. Well, of course, we want to reject this bid. Why can't your department do this in-house?
I don't have a mason.
Okay. And
I have a carpenter, and we lay bricks and sewers and cover them up on the ground, but you're looking, if you want something nice with a finish, you're probably looking at a mason.
And why did you go to an RFP bid rather than in-house contract, so to speak? Isn't there a level, contract level financially that we don't have to go out on our RFP? Huh?
25,000.
25,000. Okay. In any project under 25,000, how does that process work?
Projects under 25,000 get quotes, you get 3 quotes, and then a PO can be issued for those projects by the county manager or department level, depending on the cost down from there.
Okay. And when we get those quotes in, where do they go to, and who authorizes that?
If it's in a certain range, it's done by our purchasing agent, and they will help coordinate those prices or those quotes. And then the PO will be issued if the county manager authorizes the purchase, or at certain levels below 25, I think it, on down to 2,500 and below that, those decisions will be made by the department heads, supervisors at that, and managers at that level. It really depends on how far down from 25 you go. But something like this, most likely it'll be a PO issued, and assuming it's budgeted. Budget has to be there first, but if it's budgeted,
This would be use SPLOST. We use SPLOST funds for this, so we need a commission vote on the utilization of the SPLOST votes, SPLOST money, SPLOST excess money.
so if it's sent to the commission, same process, except for the commission approves it, the PO versus the county manager.
But I could use it from undesignated fund balance.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners to reject the bid for Swindle Construction of Glenville, Georgia for construction of the East Beach Roundabout Planter, associated curb island, and additional traffic signage for truck reroute requirements.
Got a motion,
Second.
do I have a second? Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 21 passes 3-0.
Thank you, Dave.
Item 22, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners award the bid for the Frederica Road realignment project at Christ Church to the underground excavating of Patterson, Georgia. The lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $1,670,794, with $1,614,724 being self-funded by Christ Church Frederica through a memorandum of understanding to provide funding, and $56,070 provided by the Capital Projects Fund balance, and increase the FY21 Capital Projects Fund's revenue and expenditure budgets in the amount of $56,070 each.
So on the screen, we've got Jeremy Marquez, who is the agent for Christ Church. This is the Christ Church road realignment. The bids were pretty favorable. The cost is being taken care of by the church, with the exception of the Stevens Road realignment, which we originally thought was about $50,000. It came in at $56,000. So the county should cover the Stevens Road realignment. The church has the rest. The county will do the construction management and supervision of the job.
Commissioners, any comments or questions?
Dave, I've had a few emails about, will this go through wetlands?
And Jeremy is the perfect guy to answer that. But Jeremy, you want to answer that? Because the church also paid for the design and the permitting and the wetland, and there is some mitigation. Jeremy, you want to hit that?
Okay, there is mitigation.
There's some mitigation. There's a few mitigation credits.
And Commissioners, I'm happy to speak to that. Yes, we are.
Hold on, Jeremy.
Hold on,
Jeremy. Let's see if we can get you a little louder.
I can hear you. Can you bring me closer to that mic?
Yeah, move it. the green thing. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All right, commissioners, thank you for letting us join you. I'm Jeremy Marcus, Slider and Hallback, and by the way, on behalf of the vestry, thank you for continuing to go down this path with us. Yes, we are impacting some of the freshwater wetlands. We are not impacting the saltwater marsh at all. So there is wetland mitigation that is being paid for by the church in terms of that impact. We had to go through both Army Corps as well as the SHPO on this process, and both of those processes have completed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Austin, are you satisfied, because we'll be taking over the road after it's completed, correct? Are you satisfied with the engineering and any assumptions and, you know, I
Yes,
think
sir.
I've had questions about what if there's a problem 5 years from now and all of a sudden we've got a,
Well, we've been a partner with them through the whole design process, so, and then we'll be monitoring the construction,
this is
so.
basically almost like you've been every step of the way, and this would be a similar type project that you would be doing by
Except we
yourself solely.
didn't,
as
except we
opposed
didn't pay for the design or the construction,
to-
exactly.
You were involved in that discussion and
About every
approved it.
2 weeks, we had a meeting with Jeremy and the crew and went over, and then we approved the design.
So you guys are comfortable with it?
Yes, sir.
You're comfortable with the contractor?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. They did the roundabout for us.
Okay.
Commissioners, one other part of this, on a parallel track, we have a MOU with the church, which is a property exchange MOU. And that is being advertised now. There's a state law requirement that's been advertised for 4 weeks in a row prior to that closing. At that closing, we'll exchange deeds as well as the money. So the money is coming from the church. That'll be the week of the 17th, I believe, is when the last, I guess the week of, I think the week before that was when the final advertisement runs. So we would recommend that this bid award be made contingent upon the property exchange closing occurring.
All right, commissioners, do I have a motion?
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve an award for the Frederica Road Realignment Project at Christ Church to Underground Excavating of Patterson, Georgia, the lowest responsive bidder, in the amount of $1,670,794, with $1,614,724 being self-funded by Christ Church, Frederica, through a memorandum of agreement to provide funding, and $56,070 by the Capital Projects Fund balance, and authorize an increase in the FY21 Capital Projects Fund revenue and expenditure budgets by $56,070, with the understanding the property exchange takes place.
Subject to the property exchange closing occurring.
Got to write it down. Thank you.
Are we satisfied with that motion?
We are.
Okay. To have a motion, do we have a second?
Just one question, for the freshwater wetlands, the mitigation, what agency did we have to go through?
I believe it's the same agency, we went through the Corps, but I believe we bought the same credits that we did from Pennock Road, right? Jeremy, who'd you buy the credits from? Or have you purchased the credits yet?
Let me double check because we just switched that. Give me 20 seconds and I can
I'm pretty sure it was the Aganki, whatever, and it was a 10K a credit, and we're looking at 4 credits.
You can just
about
confirm that later.
About 42K.
All right, so I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 22 passes 3-0.
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Item 23, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners award the Spur 25 Altama Connector Intersection Improvements Project to Seaboard Construction Company of Brunswick, Georgia, the lowest responsive bidder in the amount of $2,755,956.25, with $190,493.23 being provided by GDOT LMIG and $2,565,463.02 from SPLOST 2016. Mr. Elston.
So we're excited about this. We got a good contractor. We got some good prices. This is basically to, instead of one lane going across there at Altama Connector, having 2 lanes going across there. We did get some money from GDOT. Originally, they gave us $250,000 or 70%, whichever was less. So the 190 is the 70%. So what we did when we bid out the project, we bid the Altama Connector, and the work on the spur was bid separately so we could figure out exactly what that cost is. That's why the $190,000 is coming from GDOT. And then the only reason I have excess funds in there is because we haven't paid out all the right-of-way stuff yet. So I wanted to make sure we had money, but we're below, and I should be able to give some money back to Tamara once we're finished.
She's got that in writing from you.
Oh yeah, we've been talking.
Any comments or questions, commissioners? Just curious, when would this proceed to start, or?
So we're hoping that Jason back there in the back will get cranking on the contracts, and we still have some right-of-way issues that we're working with Will's off this week, but we're tying up loose ends with Will and Claire to work the right-of-way acquisitions and the easements. So we're working those kind of concurrently.
Commissioners, we have a motion.
That was not a very good answer as to when, but we hope to start as soon as possible.
It's a government answer,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I move to recommend the Board of Commissioners approve an award for the Spur 25 Altama Connector Intersection Improvements Project to Seaboard Construction Company of Brunswick, Georgia, the lowest responsive bidder, in the amount of $2,755,956.25, with $190,493.23 being provided by GDOT, LMIG, and $2,565,463.02 from SPOS 2016.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 23 passes 3-0. Item 23.1, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve to award the contract to Littlefield Construction for the base bid amount of $5,373,520 with $2,332,660 to be provided by SPLOST 2016 project line, $1,045,600 from SPLOST 2016 major roads, and $1,995,260 to be provided by the SPLOST 2016 excess funds. Mr. Alston.
So the good news here is we got a real good bid on Altama Connector, and so we had some options for you to use your SPLOST excess funds. The problem is this bid was bid on the 18th of March. He holds his bid for 60 days, which is 18 May. So he no longer has to hold this bid that he has at 5.3 million. Called the contractor, and his subs aren't going to hold the bids that they submitted. So we don't have this option to award this contract, so I am now recommending option 3 to reject the bids, downscope and rebid, because I don't have a contractor that we can bid, that we can award to. But and we also have some guidance from some of the commissioners as to a different scope that we need to add on this next bid.
It's 10% higher, right, Dave?
10% higher is what he said, yes. And prices are going up everywhere, and he's steel and concrete, and so he's assured me he's interested. He'll bid on the second one. I'm sure Seaboard will bid, so I'm sure we'll get bids, but we'll probably pay more for less.
Dave, the District 1 Commissioner and I were talking. We wondered, has a traffic count line been put out there with a camera on it to see how many cars are actually using it?
I'm sure we have one, but we can definitely put another one out and get an idea.
Well,
I know there's some school traffic, so you're squeezing me on if I can get one out there in the next couple of days, because school's over here shortly. So that'll affect a little bit of that.
Now, this is the Pennock Road that goes from where it ends in pavement to the park.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, they got $250,000 for traffic control. How much traffic? That's the reason that District 1, Sammy wants to know. Because, I mean, $250,000 for somebody standing there with a sign, no go, can go. Just a question.
So we do line item contracts where we pay for actual concrete on the ground, actual asphalt put in place. Okay, there are some things that are done, okay, that it's a scope of work, okay, it's kind of a lump sum. And so that's their lump sum for what they think is gonna cost them for traffic control. You could call it, you know, I don't know, just a factor there that they can use for, you know, say if something else goes short. I can't justify the fact that they got $255,000 in there, okay?
So you say we should reject the bid?
Well, I'm saying we can't award it because he's not going to accept it because it's past its duration of 60 days. And he didn't want to extend it. Now, I didn't talk to the number 2 guy, and I could open that up if you wanted me to talk to the number 2 contractor, but he came in at $6 million, so even 10% on top of Littlefield is below what Seaboard's base bid is.
I understand.
Okay, have a motion?
Reject all bids, down scope, and rebid the project.
Second.
I got a motion and a second for item 23. All in favor, raise your right hand. Item 3 passes 3-0. Item 24, is there any
Thank you.
commissioner have any item they want on the consent, pulled off the consent item for next commission meeting? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned.